2 wasps, 2 stings, and it's time to find out which is worse.
Look at that stinger fly. Oh my gosh, look at those mandibles, they're like shears.
Welcome to the sting-off of Japan.
Oh, yeah! What's going on, guys? We are back in the land of the Japanese giant hornet, whose sting is legendary. But if you ask people from Japan what they're really afraid of, they will often tell you the Japanese wasps are what you have to worry about. They're fast, mean, and sure pack a punch. So let's go catch one and add it to the bite sting index. Here we go. A lot of parks here in Japan have shrines like this behind me. This is not unusual, but the reason we're here at this park is because it has great pathways so we can cover a lot of ground fast, but also they garden these parks, so there's going to be a lot of flowering plants, and that's exactly what we're looking for because that's what the wasps want. What the wasps want, the net likes. Let's get the search going. Wow, look at those steps. Check that out, look at that. Oh, got one. Got one. One was up in these rafters. Got one. Got it. Got it. Nice. We got one, guys. It's not an official catch till we get it in the jar. Let's take a closer look at this thing. There we go. Oh, I missed it. Got it. Yes. All right. This is definitely one of the wasps that I was after, and one of the wasps that the locals are absolutely trying to avoid. The Japanese Vespid wasp, the paper wasp, packs a mighty sting. And this one, I have a feeling is going to put me in a world of hurt. All right, well, we got a little bit of daylight left. Let's keep searching. Who knows what else is flying around this forest. Well, this is the perfect time of day to start looking for these wasps, guys. The sun is at an angle and it's a little bit cooler than it was earlier, so we should be seeing some flight taking place. There, you guys see that? Got another. It's a Potter Wasp. Harry! Oh my gosh. I was hoping we'd find one of these. This is one of the coolest looking wasps in the world. Here we go. All right. Okay, trying to bite through the net right there. Oh man, this thing is so cool. Wasp is in. There we go. All right. Would you look at that? Potter Wasp. Called a Potter Wasp because this wasp is actually a craftsman. It uses mud to build mud pots up in the canopy for nests. And that is why it is called a Potter Wasp, not because of airy Potter. Much like the mud dabbers that we would find in North America, a thin-waisted wasp, however, this one is much more menacing and is rumored to have a much, much more painful sting, which I am about to put to the test by taking a sting for myself. So there you have it, guys. 2 different but very menacing wasps here in Japan. Both feared by locals, but both very different. Which one has the more painful sting? Let's set up the sting table and find out. Here we go. All right, guys, it is game time. We have 2 species of wasp, 2 relatively unknown stings. On the right, we have the paper wasp. This is the one that unfortunately stung our producer, Richard, who lives here. Richard, I'm glad to see you're doing better. Got stung in the face by this wasp. So yeah, there are giant hornets out here, but this is the one that the locals are often coming into contact with, and it is not pretty. Eesh. But here on the left, we have a very rare and unexpected contender. The Japanese Potter Wasp is much more elusive, and there's very little known about its venom. So today is going to be the ultimate sting-off between these 2 species of wasp here in the foothills of Japan. Like any BSI rating, I'm going to rate the sting of these 2 wasps on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. At the end of this video, we will reveal which of these 2 wasps ranks higher on the BSI. Now, while both of these insects are different species of wasp, they're after the same food. They're both, as adults, eating and foraging for nectar. That's what these wasps eat. However, they are predators. They're out there looking for food for their larvae, which consists of caterpillars, beetles, soft insects, and really anything that they can attack and dose with a lethal sting. The only question is, which one is worse? It's time to find out. Let's start with the paper wasp. I have seen a lot of wasps in my day, this one to me is right up there with the executioner wasp. It looks downright menacing. It has reddish eyes, brilliant bold stripes up and down its abdomen, stripes on its legs, and actually if you look at the thorax, the middle of that wasp, it has these two stripes going down the back, almost like an equal sign. To me, wasp plus sting equals pain. Oh boy. And I think the time has come for the first dose of venom in this video. I did bring an EpiPen with me just in case we have any allergic reaction. I don't believe I will. I've been stung by paper wasp a number of times, but this is a good point in the video to remind you, please do not attempt to recreate anything you're about to see. I don't want you guys to have to go through this. Just appreciate this from behind the screen. Okay, time to get the Japanese paper wasp out of the jar and into the sting zone. Oh, jeez. It is strong. All right, guys, I'm going for it. Look at that stinger fly. Oh boy. And I'm sure some of you are wondering, Mark, are you used to this by now? Or how can you possibly be nervous with all the stings you've done? The nerves always go, guys. This is a very unusual thing to do to yourself. All right, here we go. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the first of two wasps from Japan. On three. 1, 2, 3. Got me right away, and that burns! Wow! Do you see the venom on my skin? Oh, yeah! Woo! Yeah, that felt really bad. Oh, you see that right there, guys? Oh, wow, that venom is serious. Yeah. Wow! Wow, way worse than in America. Way worse than the United States paper wasp. Oh, 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 yeah. That lit me up. That lit me up good. Wow. Wow. Whew. All right. All right, hang on. Let's put it back in the jar. Thanks for playing. Oh. Wow. Wow, that was intense. This is radiating pain all the way up to the tips of my fingers right now. I can feel it, like in waves shooting up my arm. Oh. Okay. All right. Let's give this a minute to see like how bad this gets before we move on. Oh. Oh, you can see it's really getting red all around. Ooh, super tender. Super tender to the touch. Yeah. I can feel the swelling around the sting site and some redness already starting. That's gonna swell good. I can feel it right now, and my fingers already are starting to swell. All right. Well, one sting down, one to go. It's time to go up against the Potter Wasp. Now, another name for this wasp, other than Potter Wasp, is actually the caterpillar wasps. They are targeting caterpillars specifically to kill and feed to their young up in those mud pots that they're building in the forest. But I think Potter Wasp sounds a whole lot cooler if you ask me. Let's appreciate just how formidable this wasp looks. In terms of warning colorations, this one is like a ninja assassin. Look at it, it's clad in a black exoskeleton marked with brilliant yellow stripes and pattern in the front. Look at that face. It's like war paint. Just on looks alone, I think I'm gonna give the intimidation score to the Potter Wasp. Reminds me a lot of the warrior wasps in Costa Rica with that bullet-shaped abdomen, and then the way the wings are set up. And they almost have like fighter jet wings. So it's safe to say in terms of intimidation, Potter Wasp is gonna win that fight. But it is now time for the second of two stings in this sting-off with the Japanese Potter Wasp. Oh my gosh, look at those mandibles. They're like shears, like a little pair of scissors on its face. Guys, I might be taking a bite with this one too. It's always a nervous moment when you go into taking the sting of an insect that has very little documentation about it. This could be a relatively mild sting. It could match the might of the Japanese Paper Wasp, or potentially could be the worst sting I've ever taken. There's only one way to find out. On 3. 1, 2, 3. It's like little tiny. It's just like little pokes. You see that stinger? It's like going under the skin. I'm taking about a dozen stings, which is like I'm trying to get a good one. It's like it's fishing and can't bite it. Oh yeah. All right, felt that. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? Panda Ant. Feels like the Panda Ant. Just like tiny little pokes. Good sting or not, come on, do it. Oh, wow, yeah, that went in. Oh, God, that burns. Oh. All right, that's gonna do that, that's it. All right, guys. There it is. Okay. Well, took about, I'm gonna guess around 40 stings. Micro stings is what they felt like. You can see the effects of all of those tiny stings. I'm gonna have a pretty aggressive secondary reaction. Look at that. You guys see all that building? Actually, here, let's get out the other. First contender. When it comes down to the pain of the sting itself, no doubt about it, Paper Wasp takes the win on that scorecard. And then the Japanese Potter Wasp lit me up with probably about 40 small micro stings, but you can already see the reaction from the venom is going to cause serious secondary inflammation. So this is a really interesting outcome because it's going to come down to the scorecard, that aftermath. How will the next 24 hours turn out? That is going to decide which ranks the highest on our sting index. But you don't have to wait a second. It is time to determine the king of the Japanese Wasp sting-off. Roll it. On intimidation, the Paper Wasp reminded me of the Executioner Wasp, and after seeing the picture of Richard's eye, it had me on edge, and I give it a 7.1 out of 10. The Potter Wasp had that ninja-like appearance and battle armor which made me think that it packed a major sting. And like I said in the video, it definitely made me nervous, so it wins this category with a 7.3 out of 10. For pain, the Paper Wasp was hands down the winner with an instant full stinging dose of a 7.8 out of 10, while the Potter Wasp was reluctant to give me a full dose sting, resulting in an itchy patch of 40 micro stings, resulting in a 4.7 out of 10. Finally, the aftermath. Both stings grew worse in the days following, and the agony was about the same, but I have to say the Paper Wasp does win with swelling and inflammation, giving it a 7.4 out of 10, while the Potter Wasp wound only annoyed me for about a day, giving it a 5.7. Combining all the scores together, the Japanese Paper Wasp clocks in at a very respectable 7.4 out of 10, where the Potter Wasp just misses out on 6 land with a 5.9. So in the battle of the Japanese Wasp sting-off, the Paper Wasp is the clear winner and the one you need to worry about if you're ever buzzed by one of these stinging creatures. Out here, every step counts. The terrain is brutal and the stakes are real. That's why I created Summit Adventure Fuel, to help power my way through any situation. With pro-grade electrolytes, clean sugar-free ingredients, and flavors that hit hard, Summit keeps me going when the wild pushes back. And unlike other electrolyte drinks that are sugar-free, Summit actually tastes good. And Summit is now the official drink of Brave Wilderness. So hydrate like an explorer and fuel your adventures all the way to the summit. Let's get there. There it is. You are looking at the bull route, the freshwater stonefish, and one of the most unusual stinging fish I have ever seen. Wow, man. I'll tell you what, Miller, it's always exciting going on adventures with you, man, but I am definitely feeling the nerves right now. This is uncharted territory.
I don't think anyone's ever been stung by both a freshwater and saltwater stonefish before. So to compare the pain from both stings will be something that no one's ever done 100%.
The saltwater stonefish was by far and away one of the worst stings I have ever experienced. When it's all said and done, this should be just extraordinarily painful for me and hopefully educational for you. Ah! God. Immediate fire. Spreading up my fingers. I can already feel it in these three. Hang on, I gotta walk it off. I had lasting symptoms. We're talking these 3 fingers right here were completely numb for 3 months. Yes, 3 months of complete numbness in these fingers from the saltwater stonefish. So in terms of what this fish would have to do to ascend beyond that pain, it's a lot, guys. All right, before we get into this sting experiment, let's take a closer look at this very unusual and very seldomly seen fish. The first thing that I want to point out that I've already noticed is since we pulled it out of the stream, it has now completely changed its appearance. Once we sat it on this light metal table, it is also now much lighter in coloration. And I believe if you zoom in close enough, you'll be able to see why. There's these tiny black dots all around its scales and its face. And I think those are like chromatophores, just like you'd see on a squid or an octopus, where it can expand and contract those cells to completely change its color. So the camouflage is great for avoiding predators, but if you can't avoid a predator, what does this fish use? It's super toxic venom. And it delivers that dose of venom through its venomous barbs, the spines up and down the dorsal fin. There are spines here at the tail, and there are spines underneath the belly of the fish on the pelvic fins. So there's really no good way to hold this fish for today's sting experiment. And that's why, until I'm ready to take the sting, once we get it out of the container, I will be wearing gloves. Now, just like all the other bite sting experiments, we are going to put this fish on the bite sting index on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. One last thing, for a remedy, your best first aid scenario in any fish sting, hot water and a compress. So with all that being said, it is time to enter the sting zone with the freshwater stonefish. You ready, Miller?
Ready to go, mate.
Okay. All right, so the fish can be out of water for upwards of 10 minutes. It won't be that long, but just so everybody knows, this fish can breathe air while being out of water. All right, look at how it raises its fins in defense. I just want to point that out. As soon as I go in for the grab, ching, like a bed of spikes, raises them up for defense. Okay, got a grip. Okay, fish is out. Miller, why don't you come in here? I'm gonna remove this glove. I just want you to basically hold the fish in place.
Yeah.
All right. I'm so shaken right now. And I'm about to enter the sting zone with the bull route, freshwater stonefish from Australia, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Oh, we got it. Yep, definitely in. Ugh. Ah! Get it good. Ah! Yep, okay. My Miller, put it back in the water, please.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that burns. Ow! It is burning, building. Yeah. Clearly see where the spine went in. It went in pretty much up to the, I can't talk right now, hang on. No, it hurts. Yeah, definitely burns. Like all through those fingers. Definitely some neurotoxin going on in there. It's not just, it's not like the other ones. It's way different than the saltwater stonefish. Way different.
And those spines way sharper than the stonefish.
It took almost no pressure.
And that went all the way in as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
That's a good sting.
Yeah. Those spines are needle sharp. If you put all of your weight, it would go all the way in. Like, I could have easily gotten that spine an inch into my hand with more pressure. Like, it was just going. And I'm here to tell you, if you were to step on one of these fish, if you were to take a whole handful up spines, you're definitely going to the hospital. Like, this is excruciating. Just a single barb. Wow.
Do you need any hot water?
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to endure it a little bit. I just want to see if it spreads beyond my hand before I put it out. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait to see how bad this gets, the aftermath. Miller, thank you, brother.
Good job, mate.
Now we've got to wait for the next 24 to 48 hours to see just how bad this sting gets. Don't forget, if you're ever stung yourself, hot water, compress, and if that doesn't work, hospital. But right now, we are going to roll the official Brave Wilderness Sting Index rating of the bull route, the freshwater stonefish from Australia. Roll it. On intimidation, I was definitely nervous. The saltwater stonefish caused lasting nerve damage in my hand for over 3 months, so I had an idea what I was in for. And once I saw those long venom-laced spines stand up, it sent chills all over my body. Even though the bull route may be a smaller fish, the unknowns of its venom score it big-time points. Plus, hearing Miller's account of his granddad going to the hospital from a sting, yeah, I have to award this fish a whopping 9.2 out of 10. For pain, just like the saltwater stonefish, the sting sparked an instant inferno that intensified with each passing minute. And even though the small puncture wound may not have bled out very much, the venom surely found its way deep into my hand, and it hurt bad, giving this fish an 8.7 out of 10 on the pain index. For the aftermath, there really wasn't one. It was nowhere near the saltwater stonefish in long-term effects, and after applying the hot compress, the burning sensation subsided entirely, much like my reaction from the scorpion fish in Florida. Now, my hand was a bit sore for the rest of the day, but that was about the full extent of the aftermath. All this being said, I can only award this river-dwelling fish a 4.7 out of 10 in this category, giving the final tally of the bull route, the freshwater stonefish from Australia, a 7.5 out of 10, falling just below the assassin bug of Borneo on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Out here, every step counts. The terrain is brutal and the stakes are real. That's why I created Summit Adventure Fuel, to help power my way through any situation. With pro-grade electrolytes, clean sugar-free ingredients, and flavors that hit hard, Summit keeps me going when the wild pushes back. And unlike other electrolyte drinks that are sugar-free, Summit actually tastes good. And Summit is now the official drink of Brave Wilderness. So hydrate like an explorer and fuel your adventures all the way to the summit. Let's get there. Deep in the mountains of Chile, there is an insect so rare and so elusive that its sting is completely undocumented by science. And that sting belongs to the panda ant. And today, we're going to try to make history by being the first to find this panda ant, capture it on video, and then of course I will take on the sting of the panda ant in a world's first. This is gonna be like looking for a fuzzy needle in a giant wilderness haystack. It's time to get searching. Now this won't be your average hike. Only a few panda ants have been found in the wild, so we're going to have to search this entire mountain range to even have a chance at finding one. Okay, this looks promising. This open area has a lot of sandy, loose material, which is perfect for the panda ant because it likes to make burrows, and it also allows us to cover a lot of ground fast. Covering ground. That is the name of the game when you're looking for very, very small creatures. The more ground your eyes can scan, the more likely it is you'll find what you're looking for. We're hearing water down below. In the desert, water is life. Let's try our luck in a different environment. Found the water. It looks so good. If you were ever stuck out here in the desert, this water would be absolutely life-saving and perfectly fine to drink running this fast. A little bouldering. Just seeing water is a boost of energy. I feel so good. It's good that we're seeing these flowers. Panda ants feed on a diet predominantly of nectar, so these flowers, good indication we have a food source. There's definitely more life down by this river. Finally feels like we're starting to close in on the panda ant. Seeing these smaller wasps, that makes me feel really positive. I think the trail is heating up. I'm starting to see yellow jackets, Good sign for us right now. This is the insect watering hole. But look at that one. See that one that's chasing the others off? It's got like a panda-like abdomen. You seeing this? You seeing this? The male panda ants have wings. Let's keep moving. Have to be getting close. Oh, whoa, look at all these. Just got to this trail and there are all these burrows. I can't say whether or not these are definitively panda ant burrows, but they're the right size and right shape and in the right place. Finally feels like we're starting to close in on the panda ant. Panda ant right there. Oh! Woo! We got one! Holy! Oh! We were literally just about to give up. It's not a big one, but that is a panda ant, baby! Let's go! Yes! Ah! Got one. But our luck wouldn't end there. As we prepped our presentation and captured the first ever video of this fuzzy little panda, something even more incredible happened. Got another one. Hold on. Get in there, go. They're so fast. So fast, this one's kind of small. Don't want to get stung. Not yet anyway. There you go. Yes, 2 panda ants. Holy cow. And this one really looks like a panda. Wow. Not 1, but 2 panda ants. This is such a rare opportunity to film this world famous creature. There is almost no footage of this species. In fact, this is likely the first 4K footage the world has seen of the panda ant, the world's smallest panda. The first thing I noticed about these creatures were their size. They are teeny tiny. Look at the little capsules that we had to bring with us for this presentation. But not only are they small, they are fast. I cannot believe we actually were able to get them into the containers. It's not likely that we're gonna be able to get very much B-roll of them walking around. All it would take is a small little hole or crack in the ground and they are poof, gone. They got their name, the panda ant, because of that black and white fuzzy exoskeleton, which of course I keep calling them an ant, but they are not an ant at all. They are a species of wasp. And the wingless ones are actually females. The males of this species have wings, but the females do not possess wings. But what they do possess is the largest stinger to body size ratio of any insect in the world. They're related to the cow killer found in the southern United States, another species famous for its massive stinger and painful sting. Both have fuzzy exoskeletons and are classified as velvet ants. However, unlike the cow killer, the effects of the panda ant venom are completely unknown. And with that, it's time to take a closer look at their defense mechanisms. They don't just look like pandas for our amusement. They've developed this coloration to ward off predators to say, hey, I pack a punch, I have a lot of defenses and you will regret it. Now let's talk about another defense mechanism. Let's bring the microphone in there real close. You hear that? That's called stridulation, which is a high frequency warning pitch that these insects are able to emit. And we're not just boosting the sound. This insect's actually noisy. I can hear it. Look at that. Swinging the abdomen already. Might get to see an appearance of that. Oh, that stinger's coming out. Compared to body size, that is a super long stinger. It will have no problem popping a stinger through my skin. Now remember when I said earlier, this is probably the first 4K footage of a panda ant. Let me also tell you, this is about to be the first ever documented sting of this species. No one has taken the sting of the panda ant. Going into the sting zone with the panda ant is truly the great unknown. I have no idea what kind of reaction I'm going to have, so we brought a couple of emergency remedies. Of course, our satellite phone. If I go into any kind of anaphylactic shock, we will use this for emergency distress calls. In addition to that, I always bring a first aid trauma kit. And in this trauma kit, I always have an EpiPen. That's pretty much our only remedies if this sting gets really bad. For the first time ever, it's time to go flesh to stinger with the Panda Ant. That stinger is flying. That is a very big stinger. I would say the stinger is the entire length of the lower abdomen. All right, it is time. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the Panda Ant. Here we go to the great unknown of the world of stings. 1, 2, 3. Yep, stinger's in. Stinger's in. Oh, I dropped her. Where'd she go?
Oh, it's here.
Definitely stung me.
Maybe over the wall?
Yeah, let me see. They're so fast. And they blend in perfectly where she can't have gotten far. Let me look around.
Here, I'm gonna look over here.
All right, yeah. Keep looking, keep looking. Oh no! Oh! Well, unfortunately, I dropped the ant. She definitely gave me a sting before hightailing it out of here. We've got 2 distinct sting marks. I would say it's probably similar to that of a hornet, but luckily for us, we have one more ant. In fact, this is the one that looks most like a panda. So, it's time to see if the world's smallest panda packs a potent punch. Gotta get a good grip. I know it looks easy, but it is so hard to get a good grip on these tiny little panda ants. There we go. Okay, stinger's going. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, yeah, okay. Definitely took a really good sting and a bite. See this panda's jaws locked into me? I think this panda ant's bite is worse than its sting. Definitely getting little micro stings. This tiny panda ant just might not be big enough to deliver a full punch. Okay. Well, you can see here, I got 2 really good stings from the ant that got away. And then I probably have, I don't know, like a dozen little micro stings. I left it there for a while, but there was 1 or 2 really good ones. Oh my God, there it is. Got it. We just found the first panda ant. Wow, I cannot believe it. What am I supposed to do with you? You ran away, and now you're back. Should we try to get like another wallop? All right, well, gonna go for another sting. I don't know if I got a full one that first time around. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, got me. It's biting me. Ant stinging me. Got a good one there. Okay, yeah, all right. Really not a remarkable sting, even though we're getting a lot of redness and little micro swelling around those sting sites. This might have been the world's cutest sting. The sting of the tiny panda ant is no match for its growl. All right, let's let this little panda back into the wild. While the pain was manageable right after the sting, the secondary reaction roared back the next day, where I had redness, swelling, and a relentless itch. Check that out. So as you can see, these worms are absolutely covered in thousands of these very small but very sharp venomous spines. Now these spines are constantly growing. So you'll see there's some of them floating around, and it really does look like fiberglass. When you look at it under a microscope, you could see just how sharp the points of the spines really are. So really just even a subtle brush into one of these creatures is gonna land you in a world of pain, right where I'm about to be here in just a few more minutes. But you can also see that red coloration is where they get their name, the fireworm, because they look like they're on fire, and they certainly feel like it when they touch your skin. Now, a lot of people do come into contact with these worms, namely scuba divers and snorkelers, but you do need to be careful if you're out here swimming. If you're walking along and you feel rocks below your feet, there's a good chance that could be the home of a fireworm. If you step on one of these, it's gonna light you up. Wow, and there we go. Come in tight, let's see that right there. That to me, is the most impressive thing about the fireworm, besides what the venom can do, is this amazing flaring defense. They can just splay and spread out all of those spines so they can encase their entire body. All of that middle bit there, it's no different than your average worm. In fact, when I squeeze it with these tweezers, they're super soft, they're squishy. And if they weren't covered in these amazingly painful spikes, they would be easy pickings for anything that lives out there in the ocean. So now you've heard me mention more than a few times that these worms are venomous. So while yes, those spines will jam into your flesh like a cactus, they release a toxin. There's a mucus that these worms are coating those spines in, much like a lionfish or a stonefish. And when that toxin gets into the skin, it's gonna cause instant searing pain. And that pain will continue to cycle through as long as those spines are lodged in my skin. And then after that, I'm gonna inevitably deal with tremendous swelling and probably some scarring. This is one of the stings that it's gonna leave lasting damage. Luckily for me, I get stung a lot in this area for the bite sting index, so it's just gonna be one of many scars. It's time to take a sting from this very bizarre marine creature so I can officially rate it on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. And this is one of the animals that I have been really curious to rate since we invented the Bite Sting Index for Brave Wilderness, where we rate the sting or bite of an animal in 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. And for this worm, the aftermath is what you're definitely going to want to stick around for, because not only will you see just how bad the burn from a fireworm can be, but I'm gonna show you what to do if you are ever stung by one of these venomous creatures. I know how bad this is gonna be. Time to find out. What does the burn of the fireworm do to human flesh? On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on, I didn't get me good enough. Maybe one more time. Here we go. Puff up. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yeah, that burns. Ah! No! Oh, it's so. Ah! Woo! Oh, do you see all those spines? Oh my gosh! Ah! Ah! Oh, you can already see it's turning red. Oh, I got stung really bad. That's so many spines. Hundreds. I got stung by hundreds. Ah! Oh, it's so bad. Ah! Ah! Okay. Ah! Ah! Oh gosh.
Mark, are you okay?
Oh, it's bad, dude. It's really bad. Hold on. Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah! 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 Oh my gosh, it's so much worse the first time. I've been stung by these before, but never one that big. I have so many spines in my arm right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gonna be my worst sting ever. This is gonna be my worst sting. Ah! Ah! I gotta let it dry. Because once it dries, I can use this tape to remove the spines. Anything that's like super adhesive. If you don't have duct tape, find something sticky. Just like get that stuff out of there. You need to get those spines out of your skin, because right now I can just feel the venom just like lava flowing over top of itself. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It's just as bad as a bullet ant. It could be worse. Ha! Don't blow on it. Makes it worse. Come on. Dry. All right, I'm gonna walk it off. Hang on, guys. I'm just gonna walk around for a second. Okay, it's dry. It's dry. All right, I'm taking all I can take. I gotta get these out. All right, piece of tape like that. Any tape will do, but I got this so you can see just how many spines I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna try to do this in one swoop. Here we go. You wanna cover the entire area. Oh, wow. I didn't get a moment to go again, but look at that. Look at how many spines are in there. Come on. Ow! Ah. Okay, holy mackerel. Look at those welts coming in. You see that? Oh my gosh, and they don't even look that bad compared to how it feels. Instantly better as soon as you remove the spines. It really makes a big difference. The next thing you want to do, white vinegar. It's gonna help neutralize the burns. Oh yeah. Whatever toxin is left on top of my skin, this vinegar is going to neutralize it. Heavy duty tape, white vinegar. If you don't have it with you, get it as fast as you can, because the faster you can get those spines out of your skin, the sooner you're gonna be on the road to recovery. But I can tell you the road to recovery for this sting is long. And you can see how much the welts are rising. Tomorrow, this is gonna be nasty. Now comes the hard part, the healing process, the aftermath. And the pain score, gonna be high. Intimidation, I'm gonna have to think about that. Aftermath, I'm gonna have a long time to think about that, because the aftermath of this worm is gonna last for weeks. But you don't have to wait weeks. Let's get into it right now and officially rate the Fireworm on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. On intimidation, the Fireworm looks intense. The bright red skin combined with thousands of spines remind me of a venomous snake. Plus, having taken a sting before, I know just how easily those spines can get stuck in your skin. And when you see a big one underwater, they are majorly intimidating. So for that, I give it a 7.8 out of 10. For pain, once those spines dug in and started to dose me with venom, the burn was intense. The feeling was similar to being burned and electrocuted over and over again. And unlike my first sting, I got completely nailed this time with at least 5 times the amount of bristles. Needless to say, it hurt badly, and for that, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. The aftermath of the Fireworm is where it scores some serious points. Its burn just kept going and going, day after day and week after week, and the rash would come back with a vengeance, leaving behind these intense itching, pustules, and swelling. Anytime I would get active or start to sweat, the pain would come rushing back, and to this day, there is still some scarring left behind from the burn of this Fireworm. So for this, I give the aftermath score a whopping 9.6 out of 10. All combined, the Fireworm ranks at a 9 on the Brave Wilderness BSI, which is a major score for a majorly painful creature. All right, guys, I just got done night diving in Indonesia, and I cannot believe what we just filmed tonight with the Bobbit worm is mind-blowing. Total nightmare fuel, but super awesome at the same time. Check this out. You won't be sorry. We're starting our dive at dusk, and we'll be focused on the seabed in front of us. This is typically when the most interesting creatures are active. And right away, there's a lionfish. These fish are down here hunting right now, and those spines on its back are covered in a potent neurotoxin that can cause excruciating pain and even paralysis in anything it touches. These waters are absolutely filled with them, as well as their cousin, the scorpionfish. So anytime I make contact with the ocean floor, I'll be checking to make sure that I don't land on anything I'm not supposed to. Now, I've seen a lot of bizarre and nightmarish looking creatures before. I've been bitten by bloodworms, burned by a fireworm, and even stung by the infamous man-o-war. But nothing makes my skin crawl quite like the bobbit worm.
These elusive predators have built up a serious reputation over the years and even inspired monsters in movies like the ones in Dune and Tremors, both featuring killer sandworms that live underground that burst through the desert sand with their powerful jaws to attack and kill their prey. Those worms are science fiction. The bobbit worm you are about to see feed in the night is very real. Now at this point in the dive, I had no idea I was going to find any bobbit worms, but these are the events as they unfolded, leading to that very moment. What we have here is a school of catfish. They use a very interesting schooling technique where they actually cascade over each other like a waterfall. They do this to take turns so they can stop and feed, but there's always another catfish to replace the front line. Grouping together like this helps ward off predators and makes the school of catfish appear like a much larger fish. All right, time to move on. Oh wow, look at that. I have never seen one of these nudibranch before. This one is actually called a bubble shell. It gets its name because of that shell right there at the center of its body. Now these shells are different to the ones on a typical snail. They are thin, fragile, and too small to fit the entire animal inside. But it is absolutely stunning in coloration. Look at those bright blue edges. It almost glows out here in the darkness. Very cool. On night dives like this, you really never know what you're going to find. It's a very alien-like environment, and when you're out here in the muck, it almost appears like the lunar surface. And here is another really bizarre and unique creature. This is a cuttlefish. Related to the octopus, these sea creatures are super intelligent. In fact, some scientists believe they're more intelligent than their 8-armed cousins. Let's carefully swim up for a closer look. What's really unique about these creatures at first sight is how they change their coloration almost instantaneously. Oh, look at this, it's moving into hunt. Oh, it almost got that fish. That fish was so lucky. Oh. The cuttlefish is turning right toward me. Look at that coloration change. Now, some scientists believe not only did they change their coloration as a camouflage technique, but they can actually communicate through the change in color and pattern in their skin. I wonder if it's trying to tell me something. Clearly it knows that I'm no longer a threat. It's hanging out. Let me just put my hand out right. Guys, this is too cool. This cuttlefish is so comfortable with us that it's letting me almost use my hand as a perch. Now make no mistake, these cuttlefish are super fast and it could swim away in a split second if it wanted to. And it's likely just as curious about me as I am about it. Holy cow. I'm almost at a loss for words. All right, let's grab our dive rig and keep adventuring into the night. Wow. That's a pair of moray eels. This is one of the animals that divers need to be especially careful around because they are super territorial and they also have razor sharp teeth. If you stick your hand in the wrong place down here, you can take a pretty aggressive chomp from one of these large eels. And the biggest problem is once they bite, they don't let go. They can even spin into a death roll similar to a crocodile. We're gonna leave those two alone and keep moving forward. Now that is a porcupine fish, and a super colorful one at that. A lot of the porcupine fish that I'm used to seeing are more brown and gray in coloration. This one is more of a reddish maroon. And oh, I found something so cool. Guys, check this out. This is a bobtail squid. I've always wanted to see one of these. Now these bobtail squid really look like a little octopus because of their super long tentacles. They're almost the in-between between a cuttlefish and an octopus. But these bobtail squid are also super intelligent and extremely charismatic. It's trying to bury itself beneath the sand to hide away from our cameras. I see you. Look at it using its little arms to cover itself with sand and sediment to try to blend in. You can still see its little siphon is uncovered there. Wow. Whoa. Look out for those. Those are scorpion fish, and they are venomous. Related to the stonefish, these scorpion fish have venomous spines on the dorsal and pectoral fins. And if you accidentally brush into them, they can give you a really nasty sting. I know all too well just how it feels because I once took a sting from the scorpion fish
And I've tested
myself.
the sting of a man-o-war. Ah, man, that one nailed me.
What is that? That's a bobbit worm. Oh my gosh. We gotta get in for a closer look. Those mandibles, look at those jaws, they are huge. If that's not a sci-fi monster, I don't know what is. And look at its skin. It's iridescent. It almost has a rainbow shimmer to it. And you could see its serrated jaws open and ready to clasp onto any would-be victim that crosses its path. And do you see those little antennae? Right by the jaws, those are sensory organs, sensing the chemicals and vibrations in the water so it can detect prey and launch out for an attack. And with a body length of up to 10 feet, there's a lot more to this worm than meets the eye. And using all that friction that it has from that long burrow, it possesses incredible strength and can take down large fish as prey in a split second. Let's see if we can get the bobbit worm to snap its jaws for the cameras. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Wow. Now not only are those jaws serrated, but the bristles along its body are actually venomous. And the bobbit worm uses them as a defense mechanism. So it's not just the jaws you have to worry about. Oh no! The little porcupine fish followed us over. It must be attracted to the dive lights. That porcupine fish is very lucky to have escaped the bobbit worm. But that was pretty interesting to see it use its defense mechanism to puff up like that and to be successful with it. Whew, that got my heart racing. Let's wait here for a second to see if this bobbit worm can find any other prey. Look who showed up. The scorpion fish is coming to take a look. I wonder if the scorpion fish thinks this bobbit worm could be food. It certainly is creeping in really slow. Let's hang here for a second to see what happens. I cannot believe what we just saw. I think we're going to need to see that one more time, but this time we're going to slow it down. You can really see how the bobbit worm inspired the movies Dune and Tremors. Look at the sand bubbling. I can only imagine what's happening down there below the surface. That might be the most disturbing thing I have ever seen on any dive I've ever been on. Wow. Scientists are still uncovering the mysteries of this notorious creature, not only seeking to understand its behavior, but also its role in the environment. But one thing is for certain, these creatures are absolutely terrifying.
Are you guys rolling? Look at this. That is a calcular. We literally were out here filming me getting stung by a giant desert hairy scorpion, and we were taking a break, and I came over to this pasture and I saw this calcular scurrying around. Oh, they're fast. They're super fast. Ah. Got it. Woo! All right, I think It's my turn to go arm to stinger with one of the most painful stinging insects on the planet, the cow killer of Arizona. Let's go, guys. The cow killer is what the velvet ant is called in the United States because they are often found in cow pastures, and their sting is said to be so horrible that it's painful enough to kill a cow. We don't even have to set up the sting table. It's already set up. Luckily, the sting of that giant desert hairy scorpion wasn't that bad. Oh my God, the venom spray, did you see that? So I'm gonna be able to hopefully endure one more before we head home. This is the insect responsible for our most famous viral video ever, with over 83 million views. But I haven't yet taken the sting from this one.
Okay, let me get back here.
You all right? And not only am I going to attempt this sting test, but I will also be putting the most famous sting in Brave Wilderness history on our brand new and improved Bite Sting Index, where I will rank this sting on intimidation, pain, and aftermath, ranking each from 1 to 10, and then taking the average score to see where the cow killer falls on the official Brave Wilderness BSI. So the first impressions of this cow killer, which is a velvet ant, is that it looks a lot different than the cow killer that stung coyote years ago. It has the exact same patterning and fur, but instead of a red abdomen, it has almost like a burnt orange coloration. And that's the cool thing about velvet ants. They come in a variety of shapes, patterns, and colors. And velvet ant species can be found all over the Americas, but I happen to think the ones here in the southwestern United States are some of the coolest looking of all the species. It's called a velvet ant, but it's not a species of ant at all. In fact, it is a wingless wasp. The males of this species actually have wings and fly around, but they don't have stingers. Only the female velvet ants have stingers, so we know because this one doesn't have wings, it's definitely gonna be able to give me a sting. Now, I have been stung by another species of velvet ant before, the panda ant, where I was the first person to ever document being stung by this species down in Chile. Ooh, yeah, okay. Definitely took a really good sting and a bite. I saw a lot of the comments. People were asking, hey, how does that stack up to the velvet ant in Arizona? And I didn't know because I've never been stung by one. Well, I'm about to find out, and so are all of you. Oh man, the reality of this just set in. I have the sting kill out. I will treat this sting with the sting kill as well. This is not a paid ad. This is just something I'm curious about. Of course, I've got an EpiPen just in case I have any kind of crazy allergic reactions. This is a first aid device that will help me get to emergency medical attention should I need it. Hopefully this is just a lot of pain and we don't have to go down that route. And with that, let's get a look at the stinger of this insect. So this is always the tricky part, getting a grip. And they're called the indestructible insect because their exoskeleton, their body, is so strong. It is way stronger than most insects. So I'm not gonna be able to crush it or hurt it whatsoever. Oh, you guys hear that? I already heard something that I was curious about. These insects have the ability to actually emit a squeak that's called stridulation. It's a warning distress signal, an alarm siren, if you will. And this one, I just heard it. Hear that? You guys hear it? Get your cameras close. You'll be able to hear it. Not quite as noisy as the panda ant, but you can definitely hear it. But don't worry, I'm not hurting this insect at all. Now the stinger, look at how long it is. Oh my gosh, look at that stinger. The stinger of the cow killer is one of the longest stingers of all insects. In fact, to the body size ratio, it has the longest stinger of any stinging insect on the planet. Wow. And because this one is bigger, that stinger is much larger than the panda ant I was stung by in Chile. Wow, that stinger is seriously large. Okay, I think it is time to test out the sting of this fuzzy little insect. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to attempt to let the cow killer sting me on its own. In order to do that, we're going to put it back in the container, and I'm going to just place it right on the usual spot. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh boy, I can feel the fuzz. Oh, abdomen's like right against my skin. This is nerve-wracking. I can see the cow killers trying to get out of the glass. Just as I thought, not gonna sting on its own. Here we go, I'm gonna flip it over. Woo! All right, hang on. Whew. That'll get your nerves going. Whew. Okay. All right, so you don't really need to worry about taking a sting from this insect unless you really antagonize it by trying to grab it or hold it with a pair of forceps and let it sting you that way, which is what I'm about to do next, because I'm very curious how it stacks up to the velvet ants of South America. Moment's setting in, and I'm actually gonna take a sting. All right, let's get a good grip. Just gonna get it right on the back there. There we go. Okay, it's getting warm. She's getting fired up. You can see where I had the glass placed earlier to prove that she wasn't gonna sting me on her own, but she's definitely gonna sting me now. That stinger is firing. You guys got your shot? I'm gonna do it right in the center of that sting zone. All right, I'm Mark Benz, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the velvet ant, the cow killer of the Southwest. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Ah, she's biting me. Nothing yet. I got that stinger. Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Oh. Whoa. Way. Oh. Yeah. Stinger's in. Wow. Yeah, that is way worse than the Panda Ant. Way worse.
What's it feel like, Mark?
Oh, it burns. It really burns. Here, I'm gonna put her back. Yeah, that burns. That definitely burns. She nailed me right there. See that? See that red spot? Oh man, that is gonna swell. That is searing pain. Way worse than the Panda Ant. Like times 10 worse. That is a for real sting. Holy moly. Yeah, that's one of the better ones I've taken. It is, oh, hang on. Wow, I got hit 3 times. 1, 2, 3, the worst one being right there in the middle. And I felt that stinger go all the way in. I mean, probably like at least a 1/4 inch underneath the skin. You can see that there's a little bit of a blood spot, a little bit of redness there from like some hemorrhaging underneath the skin, but you can really see the blotchiness starting to go. I can already tell you right now, the swelling from this tomorrow is going to be so much worse than it is right now, but right now I'm feeling the effects of the venom, the pain, and it is time for me, I think, to get a little bit of sting kill on this sting. Let's go. Hopefully help cool down the burn I'm feeling on my skin. Oh yeah, that's like a dull pain. Cool relief though. Yeah, this sting is way more powerful than the Panda Ant. I don't know if it's a size thing or if it's just generally the Southwest velvet ants, the cow killers, are just that much more painful, but that was a wallop. I'm glad to have a little something to help put out the burn from that pain. I can tell you right now though, tomorrow is gonna be the worst day of this. We're gonna have to monitor this thing for the next 24 to 48 hours. I am by no means out of the woods. And now it's time to break down this sting and give the cow killer its official ranking on the Bite Sting Index. For intimidation, I give the cow killer a 7.5 out of 10. Even though they are fuzzy and colorful, once you see that stinger all the way out, all bets are off and you know it means business. As for pain, I was super shocked by this one because I thought it would be at least similar to the Panda Ant. I was definitely wrong. It was many times worse, so I give it an 8 out of 10. Lastly, the aftermath. The swelling and the pain spike big time in the hours following the sting and well into the next day. While it is by no means a bullet ant, it definitely hurts for a good long while, and I would say the aftermath is much worse than the sting itself, giving it an 8.5 out of 10. That total score gives the cow killer an official BSI rating of an 8. That is the highest ranking so far, and a lot of bang pow for such a tiny creature.
It kills many people throughout East Asia every single year. Ah!
I am on the hunt for the deadliest sting in all of Borneo, and if I'm able to catch one of these super aggressive insects, I'm going to take a sting for myself to see just how painful it really is. Eyes up, these killers attack from the sky. So right now, we are looking for flowering plants because in all likelihood, that's where we're gonna find what we're after. The hornet itself does eat nectar and fruit, but it also hunts bees, which are attracted to flowers as well. So these banded hornets are really opportunistic. Oh man, we are in the thick of it now.
Snake! Guys, we got a snake right here. Bornean keeled viper. It is venomous, and it is a really good sized one too, but so I can get it down. Oh, she's heavy. My goodness. You see what I mean now? That's why I want to be especially careful with this snake. I do believe she's carrying young, so she's what's called gravid, and she's about to give birth to a lot of baby snakes. Oh. So can you see that anytime she gets more than half of her body length out of my hook, I do a reset. As long as I have the hook in that first quarter, I'm fairly safe. Now, you would not want to take a bite from this viper. As docile as she is being right now, we can't let her guard down. In an instant, this snake could wake up, decide to become aggressive, and a bite from this animal would be a very dangerous situation. How's that for a shot? It's named the keeled viper because of the scales. They have a little ridge that goes in between each individual scale. Unlike most pit vipers, it has a much thicker jawline. It has a very robust and bold appearance. And then when you combine that with the coloration of this reptile, it's a knockout. We gotta cover some ground. We gotta get out of this canopy and hopefully find some flowers. I'm not sure there's gonna be many hornets hanging out in this dense jungle here. Oh wow, here's a flower. Guys, come check this out. This is called a Rafflesia flower. It is the national flower of Borneo, but it actually has a much more common name, the rotting corpse flower. Being that I've never encountered one of these before, you know I gotta test it. It definitely stinks. Not nearly as bad as I thought. Spoiled barbecue, no big deal. We're gonna head up here where there's more light and hopefully more flowers. I'm hearing a lot of buzzing. I got flowers, guys. Big flowers in there. Something's buzzing up there. I think we got one. I think we got one. Watch out, guys, watch out. I got it. Yes. Woo, we got one. Let's go to this clearing. I'm gonna get the jar. Oh, baby. Oh my goodness. That is it. The banded hornet, the deadliest stinging insect in all of Borneo. It is huge. Look how big it is. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we got one. And it looks mean. Let's go set up the sting table. Let's do this. First, up close look at one of the insect killers of Borneo, the banded hornet. And it is enormous, easily twice the size of hornets that I'm used to seeing. And look at that bright yellow band across the abdomen. An obvious reason as to how it got its name. Now, there are two types of banded hornets. There are banded hornets in the mainland of East Asia, and then there are banded hornets in the tropical regions. And you could tell the difference mainly because the mainland hornet band stops right in the middle. So you see a black line above the yellow. The tropical version of this hornet has a yellow band that extends all the way to the top of the abdomen. And of course, here we are in the tropics, so this is in fact that species. But between the two,
This one is known to be much more aggressive, and it kills many people throughout East Asia every single year. In fact, in 2018 alone, this species of hornet killed 7 people in Indonesia. And that is because of the toxicity of its venom and the aggression of the colonies of these hornets. They do nest, they do hive up, and when people are swarmed by these and inflicted with multiple stings, it can almost lead to instant anaphylaxis, instant shock. And sadly, yes, many people lose their lives due to those unfortunate encounters. But today, and because of all the stings that I've done before and my knowledge of what to do in case of an emergency situation from a sting, I am willing to go flesh to stinger with the terror that is known as the banded hornet of Borneo. And it looks intense, preparing itself for what is going to be probably one of my worst stings. The nerves are kicking in. Gonna take a sting on this arm. Got a little aftermath still going there from a different sting, but this is a nice blank canvas. Because this hornet could have a potentially emergency outcome to this sting test, let's just do a quick review, guys, on the EpiPen. If I need the EpiPen and I can't administer myself, this is what you do. Remove the pen from the container. Both blue caps come off, exposing the needle. You jam it into either of my legs. You depress the top for 10 seconds. Pull it out. And that will give me enough medicine to make it to where I can get more help. Okay, guys, here we go. Out of the container. Try to do it without getting it too fired up so I can get a good hold on it. See the stinger going. Got a bad hold. I've got it between the sheets. I'm gonna keep chasing it until it gets a dead end. Check to make sure I got a good hold. I got a good hold. There it is. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the banded hornet of Borneo on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's in. Yeah, I get it. I got away. Oh, buddy, it got me. Oh. Oh, wow. Ooh, that burns. Oh, yeah. Instant searing pain. Stinger went deep right away. It flew off almost immediately. No one else was stung, thankfully. But that was a powerhouse of a sting, guys. It's like making my hand shake. All right, let's just monitor. Forgot to monitor this for like at least a half hour, guys. I'm not out of the woods by any means. It's been about 10 minutes after the sting. You can still see the blood at where the sting site was. A lot of the stings that I take remain in the upper parts of the skin, in the dermis of the skin. This one clearly went into the bloodstream, and it itches so bad already. Typically, itching does not set in for at least like 12 hours to a day. I have never experienced this on any sting before. And it still hurts. Let's be really, really clear. It does not feel good at all, but the itching is starting to overpower the pain. So unusual. But it's time to rank this insect, this banded hornet from Borneo, on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. And as always, it's going to be on 3 factors: intimidation, pain, and the aftermath. Roll it. On intimidation, the banded hornet certainly looks intense. It's easily twice as large as your average hornet, and they almost warn you not to touch them with that bright yellow banding. Plus, they do have that reputation of being the most deadly sting in Borneo, which is terrifying given how many stinging insects live out here. So for that, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. For pain, once the stinger dug into my skin and started dosing me with its venom, it was immediate. And the sting radiated throughout my entire arm, engulfing my forearm in searing pain. And it drew a drop of blood on top of that, which only happens with the most serious of stings, and it definitely made me nervous. Given all those factors, it easily earns its 8.1 out of 10 for pain. The aftermath of the banded hornet continues to earn it some serious points. That stinger went in deep and caused serious itching right away, which I have never experienced before. I went through wave after wave of pain, and we had to closely monitor my symptoms to make sure I wasn't having an allergic reaction. It also caused a shocking bullseye reaction on my arm, which is always concerning. Anytime I would get active in the days following, the swelling would come rushing back, including the horrible itch, which lasted for a full 48 hours. And for that, it gets an aftermath score of a solid 8 out of 10. All factors combined, the banded hornet ranks at an 8.2 on the Brave Wilderness BSI, beating out the cow killer from Arizona, but falling just short of the giant black carpenter bee, also from Borneo. Wow, this place stings.
My name is Mark Vince. For over 5 years, 500 videos,
You all right, man?
and over 1 million miles traveled around the globe, I have been here with you on Brave Wilderness. And through those thousands upon thousands of hours off trail with my 2 best friends, I have witnessed some of the most amazing spectacles imaginable.
Oh, wow.
I have stood amongst the shadows of mountains, of forests, of a cowboy hat, of some of the world's deadliest creatures, and most often, the shadow of my own camera. Then last year, I decided to step out and take my place in front of the lens, to pursue my lifelong dream of ocean exploration. And since that day, there has been a singular entity, an enigma that has drawn me back to the blue wilderness. But before I was to meet this creature of epic lore and mystery, I had to first pass a series of tests to prepare myself. There were tiger sharks, hammerheads, and deep water dives. And not simply for any certification, but to prove to myself, to know that I was ready. Ready to meet my fate beneath the waves. Ready to come face to face with the great white shark.
There it is. That's our ship. Today is the day we are here in Mexico, about to go on our first ever great white shark adventure. Actually, I take that back. This is our second attempt. The first attempt didn't go as planned in the Farallon Islands, but I've got a feeling this one's gonna be a whole lot different.
Upon leaving shore, I could feel the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Would this be a gateway to the next phase of my adventures? Or would this be my last? I am no stranger to risk. I have come face to face and hand to claw with some of the most ferocious and notorious animals on the planet. But this one was so much more. Inevitable, intentional, imperative to my quest as an explorer. Welcome to Guadalupe, a remote volcanic island 175 nautical miles off the coast of Mexico's Baja Peninsula. This towering mountainous expanse of prehistoric Earth will serve as a backdrop to my greatest adventure to date.
We made it.
Because if there's one place on Earth to find the world's largest predatory shark, this is it.
What's cool about Guadalupe is it's kind of like the sister to the Farallon Islands that we filmed at before. Unfortunately, we didn't see any sharks in the Farallons, but down here, the sharks come in because of the seals. They have 3 different species of pinniped here in Guadalupe. They've got their endemic fur seal population, they've got California sea lions, and then of course they have northern elephant seals, all of which are on the menu for the great white shark. And the place we are at right now is known as the kill zone. This is the space between the feeding grounds where the seals need to hunt their food and the shore where they rest during the day. And as you can imagine, in that space in between is the great white shark's favorite buffet. But our goal isn't to see seals getting eaten while we're out here. Our goal is to get under the water in the realm of the great white shark so we can get the cameras up close and personal with one of the world's top marine predators.
Our home in this mystical place will be none other than the Socorro Vortex of the Pelagic Fleet. This ship and its crew have been making the voyage to Guadalupe for years and have been assisting in shark research and conservation all along the way.
The very first step to try to protect sharks is to get in the water with them. Once you're in the water with them, it's a complete different perspective you will get forever.
So one of the biggest differences between what we tried to do in the Farallon Islands and what we're doing out here in Guadalupe is this. We actually get to use attractant, aka bait, to draw in the sharks close to the cages and therefore up close to the cameras. All right guys, I think it's time to get suited up because it's about to be our turn to get in the water.
As I began to suit up, reality sunk in.
I do need to say, this is the point where the nerves start to kick in, and it's not because I'm scared, it's not out of fear, it's healthy because an activity like this is not risk-free. Even though we're with one of the best crews in the world when it comes to diving in cages with great white sharks, we still have to have our wits about us. Anything can happen. We're talking a ton-plus animal that can be ferocious in a moment's notice, and they can literally rip these cages apart. In fact, one of my friends caught footage of a shark entering a shark cage, and they had to pop the top where the divers are supposed to come out to release the shark, not the diver. So we definitely have to keep our eyes peeled, be aware at all times, watch each other's backs when we're in the cages, because literally anything can happen. Just because there's bars in front of us, that's not any sign for complacency when you're in the water with an animal that formidable.
The few steps between the deck and the shark cage created a bridge to the world of the great white. My heart began to race, but this time, the nerves I felt were more distinct. This was an adrenaline rush from the excitement of a life's dream nearing closer with each and every step. My moment had finally arrived.
Here we go.
As I entered the cool 65-degree water, my eyes began to adjust, and I became aware of the endless blue void that lurked below me. The sunlight danced through the 12,000 feet of water surrounding the landscape of the island, and there was no bottom in sight, meaning the sharks could be anywhere and come from any direction. Looking around, scanning for our first shark, I was in awe of the clarity of the water and the abundance of fish in the area. Our main challenge at this point was getting properly positioned. The strong currents threw us around the cages like ragdolls. So to keep the camera steady and our bodies from bouncing off the walls, we fixed our feet to the railing and held tightly with our free hands. Watching from below the surface, I could see the occasional splash from above as the crew tossed bait lines into the water. Knowing full well that each attempt could be the line to draw the apex predators from below. We waited, patiently scanning the blue abyss for any shadows or signs of movement. Minutes seemed like hours, but then, without much warning, it happened. From the distance, a dark shape began to appear. It crept toward us slowly, and then suddenly, it was right in front of us. Wow, I couldn't believe my eyes. What I've been witnessing for years on Shark Week was right in front of my lens. Finally, I was in the presence of a great white shark. It thrashed toward the bait and missed, but after a quick lap around our cage, it disappeared again. As fast as the giant flashed into view, it was gone. But this was proof of victory. We were going to be seeing sharks today, and hopefully, lots of them. On average, great white sharks will have up to 300 teeth in their mouths at any given time. And these teeth are arranged in up to 7 rows, with the first 2 known as their working teeth. As you can see by our footage, their attacks are calculated and precise. The torpedo shape of their body allows the great white to accelerate up to speeds of, get this, 35 miles an hour and strike with a force of 29 Gs. So forget about the bite for a second. The impact alone is enough to kill prey all by itself. As I calmly observe the frenzy of sharks surrounding the cage, I am reminded that I am in their world. Not only am I observing them, they are observing me. Witnessing a strange visitor in a metal cage, they would come closer and closer with each pass for a better look. And locking eyes with a great white shark is something that I'll never forget as long as I live. As my time in the cage came to a close, I couldn't help but keep my camera rolling. We had seen many impressive sharks today, but I just had this feeling that something big was about to happen. When suddenly, a giant silhouette charged from straight beneath, and with its sights locked on the prize, it lunged at full kill speed. And pow! I could not believe it. It's rare to see from the surface, let alone from underwater, but what we had just witnessed was a full breach. Behold, the full fury of the great white shark. Now feeling extremely happy with our footage, and after hours underwater, it was finally time to return to the safety of the boat. Oh my goodness, what an epic great white shark adventure that was. For our very first one, I don't think we could have asked for any more. The surface cages did not disappoint. We had all kinds of action. We had encounters right at the cage. We had bites at the bait. We had surface breaches. Huge thanks to the Sakura Vortex crew for helping us out and keeping us safe on today's adventure. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a second of the action ahead. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next dive. It's no surprise that these sharks are referred to as great. They are truly a perfected product of evolution and largely differ from any of the previous sharks we've encountered on Blue Wilderness. Great whites are intelligent creatures, highly inquisitive by nature, and as we clearly witnessed today, master hunters of the deep. We'd like to give an extra special thank you to the captain and crew of the Sakura Vortex. To learn more about the ways you can visit Guadalupe or to support shark conservation, please visit their website at www.vortexliveaboard.com.
Welcome to the Sonoran Desert, one of the harshest environments in the continental United States. This terrain has become a staple for brave wilderness. From the Gila monsters to the tarantula hawks, even the plants are out for blood. In fact, that's exactly why we're here. Ah yes, here we go. The jumping cholla in all its glory. Now there are over 30 different species of this segmented cacti that inhabit North and South America, and they all have different names. This one, I could tell right away, is none other than the teddy bear cholla. But I will warn you, this plant is definitely not soft and cuddly, so you don't want to give it a hug if you're out here in the Sonoran Desert. Now, if you take a closer look at those spines, you'll notice that they are pointing in nearly every direction, almost like some kind of geometric nightmare. Oh, but it gets worse. On every single spine is a characteristic called glochidia, which are small bristles with backward-facing barbs. This microscopic feature makes the cholla difficult to remove once it is adhered to any surface or unlucky passerby. Now I know what you're thinking. Are these plants just plain evil, or is there a method to their madness? Well, as it turns out, each and every single segment of this plant is a potential seed for the next offspring. They've adopted what's called vegetative reproduction. But what's with this name jumping cholla? Their name is a bit of a myth. It comes from the idea that the plants actually have the ability to jump at their would-be victims. However, that's not the case. But what they can do is fall. So a good gust of wind or vibrations in the ground can cause the segments to fall, especially in the dry season. And at this point, I want to show you guys the methods to remove a cholla plant from your body. But let's be honest, you've seen this before. Yeah, today it's my turn. And in order to show you the right ways to remove a cholla, I'm gonna need to get myself good and spiked up. So the team and I have decided to create the ultimate cholla challenge, also called the sharpest maze in the world. And if you look right behind me here, you'll notice there's a lot of cholla. In fact, not just cholla, there's all kinds of spiky, nightmarish plants. These are things you would never, ever want to walk through. But here's the deal. If you were to go all the way to the end of the maze, over 100 yards, you would find a table. What's on this table, you might ask? Well, it just so happens to be my favorite dessert of all time. The delicious, the scrumptious, the completely irresistible red velvet cake. And this one just so happens to be made from my favorite bakery in Los Angeles, Baker's Lane. So, trust me, I really want to have that dessert in the desert. But here's the deal, in order to get it, I need to make my way through this maze in under 2 minutes. And the kicker is, I've got to do it while being blindfolded.
Actually, Mark, I thought the blindfold might be a little too easy to see through.
Huh?
So I got you these blacked out goggles instead. I'll take that bandana from you there.
I could work with this, okay. I really want that cake. All right, folks, here it goes. If you've ever wanted to see a human pincushion, stick around for the next few minutes. This is about to get crazy.
Alrighty, folks. Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned desert showdown. No sense poking around. Let's get right to it. 2 minutes on the clock. Let's give him some spins for good luck. And he's off.
That, man.
Straight.
To your right, to your right. Good, good. To your left, Mark, to your left.
Oh, God, straight.
Yep, straight ahead. Oh, watch out for that one by your leg. Back up just a little bit and then go straight. There you go.
Oh, I can't see a thing.
There we go. We got a little bit of a clearing
Time
here.
check.
You got about 1:30. Watch your chin.
Which way?
Oh, man. Back up.
Oh.
Okay, Mark, we gotta keep going.
Right.
To your right, to your
Right.
To your right.
What is that? That's another one, is it?
No. Straight ahead. Yep, sidestep. Step with your left leg forward. Yeah, just go straight, Mark. Just go straight.
Oh my gosh, how far am I?
Halfway through, Mark. Come on. Don't get too close to those. Keep shuffling.
God.
There you go.
My leg's seizing up, man.
Well, we're in between two very sharp plants. So what we need to do, yep. You just turned yourself perfect.
Okay.
Go forward. There's a bush right below you, though. Step over that with your left leg. There you go.
Am I doing the right thing? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to feel for bushes with my feet.
Shuffle. There you go.
Am I close?
You're close. We got about 30 seconds, though. We got to make it.
I'm like terrified to finish this, Corey. Help me.
All right, this part's tight.
Dude, I'm stuck. I'm freaking stuck.
Ooh, he's gonna feel that one for a while. Let's slow that down real nice like and see an instant replay.
Okay, you just have to move forward. You're right there. It's right in front of you.
Oh, I feel the table. Got the cake. Yes! Victory!
Oh, dude, you made it with like 2 seconds to spare.
All right, I need you guys to remove the goggles because I'm like, I can't move right now. Corey, I'm gonna need your help. How bad is it? How bad is it?
It's bad, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Was it worth it, man?
Let
Take
me
a bite.
Let me see.
You made it this far.
Oh, it makes it better. That certainly makes it better. Oh yeah, that's good cake. Okay. We gotta get these out. All right, I really need the stuff off the back.
I'm just gonna keep going, man. Ready?
Okay.
All right, keep going, man.
Had you ever thought of starting over? Starting
1, 2, 3.
from the bottom again.
Yep, that was the worst one. Tell you guys what, I'm so happy I wore a cup. Okay, so here we go. Now, as you can see, I only have the choya left that are on the front side of my body. And this is the point of the video where I would like to attempt to show you how, if this happens to you, hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, how to properly remove these choya with the least amount of pain possible. The number one thing you want to avoid doing, this is like rule number one with choya, you never, ever, under any circumstances, try to remove choya with your hands. Even if you have gloves on, as you can see, these things go through boots, they go through fabric. So don't use your hands, you want to use a tool. Now, what tool should you use? Well, I'm glad you asked. Corey, my comb, please. Thank you, sir. No, I'm just kidding. It's not for my hair, but one of the best tools for removing the choya is a large tooth comb, just like this. Work the teeth under the spines until you grab the choya. You could kind of see I've got the fruit pulling up now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whew. Okay, that's one. Ooh, this one's gonna hurt. Go! Yeah! Yes! Yes, sir, that hurts. Okay, so the comb, it does the trick. But let's be honest, if you're out here hiking the Sonoran Desert, pretty good chance you don't have a large tooth comb in your kit. But what you might have is something like this. The Brave Wilderness team never leaves home without a good multi-tool, and I highly recommend you do the same. So you want to open 2 points of contact, just like the comb, wiggle it in there. See how I have good purchase? Ah, that hurts. 1, 2, 3. Ga! Ga! Velvet cake, velvet cake, velvet cake. Okay, I think I need to get this one off. This is a good opportunity for me to show you yet another technique. Corey, sticks please. Thank you, sir. Now, if you can't find any sticks, just look harder, because you definitely don't want to use your hands, like I said before. What you want to do is take the sticks, fork them underneath, get purchase, and then same as the other ones. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, just like that. But I gotta be honest with you, I much prefer the multi-tool, so I'm going back. Okay, this is gonna be a good one. And the final, choya. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the Sonoran Desert and all of its spiky inhabitants and how to remove the pesky choya should you ever have an encounter of your own. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next challenge. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Ah!
Oh, yes. That cake was worth every single spine. And speaking of our spiky little friends that joined me on today's adventure, we actually did them a big favor by helping these choya complete their journey across the desert. Grow strong, little ones. And if you enjoyed this challenge, make sure to head over to the Mark Vins channel and check out my experiment to prove, once and for all, who is the spikiest cactus in the West.
Ow!
I'm just gonna say it right now, it only gets spikier from here. Is that graceful? I'm about to go snorkeling in the Silfra Fissure, some of the clearest water visibility in all of the world.
Iceland. Hi everybody, I'm Mark Vins, and welcome to a very special edition of On Location, one that features just me, the director of the Brave Wilderness channel, and also the host of... Oh, I'm not allowed to say that yet?
Nope.
Okay, more on that later. For now, I'm just the director of the Brave Wilderness channel, but some of you might also know me as the guy who often asks Coyote, "You all right? What are you feeling? You all right? You all right, man?" I read the comments, guys. Yeah, that guy. But for those of you out there that have no idea who I am, hi, I'm Mark, and I'm the one who's been filming the adventures with Coyote Peterson you've been watching for the past 4 years. Now, in that time, we've gotten all kinds of questions about how we do our productions and how we make videos for the Brave Wilderness channel. In an effort to answer some of those questions, I thought, hey, why not get in front of the camera, do some base camps, do some on locations, and hopefully shed light on all things production surrounding the Brave Wilderness channel. So, to kick things off, let's start with one of the most common questions that we often get, which is, guys, how do you pick which location you're actually going to explore? That's one of those questions that truthfully has many answers, but one of the ways that we pick where we're gonna visit is that I actually go ahead of the team to scout the location in advance. Now, I could just tell you about this, but I thought it sure would be a whole lot more fun to take you guys with me out in the field to show you what one of these adventures is actually like. And recently, I got to visit the country of Iceland. Iceland is one of the most amazing places that I've ever visited, bar none. Honestly, guys, it's a place that I wanted to visit since I was a little kid, so I'm super excited that this is one of the first pre-production videos that I'm going to share with you guys. So without further ado, let's get out of this studio and head into the field and check out what kind of cool Icelandic adventures I discovered. Iceland, a country sprawling with dramatic landscapes and explosive volcanic terrain. A place that truly embodies the meaning of the word adventure, with every vista and every step forth on its craggy soil. That's a volcano. Just erupted 8 years ago. For me, this would be my first visit to the Nordic island nation that is far more green than its northern neighbor of Greenland. However, this would be no traditional adventure. It was a solo mission. My goal? To scout future expeditions and adventures for Coyote and the crew, a mission I have led myself many times in the past. Remember those dinosaur footprints? Yep, I found those months earlier on a scouting expedition in southern Utah. But now, because of advancements in camera technology, I can take you with me on these exciting and often unexpected adventures. Here we go. Time to go snorkeling in freezing water. Let's do this. While on my Icelandic journey, I explored places like the Valley of Thor, rode Icelandic horses, and even got to visit a world-famous spa, the Blue Lagoon. I still don't know what that is on my face, but hey, everyone was doing it, so why not? Anyways, there's one particular adventure on this expedition that I simply couldn't wait to show you. That being my journey into the icy waters of the Silfra Fissure. The fissure itself is a byproduct of the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates drifting apart, leaving in their wake multiple rifts that fill with some of the purest water on the planet. All right, guys, we're about to go snorkeling in the Silfra Fissure, some of the clearest water visibility in all of the world, and actually one of the only places that you can dive between two continents. Literally, we are standing in the fissure that separates Eurasia and North America right now, and we're gonna go diving in a natural spring. So it's very cold. We definitely don't want water getting inside our suits because it's around 2 degrees Celsius, just above freezing, but it's gonna be pretty awesome. We're about to go get our snorkel gear together and get in, so let's go. Is that graceful? Look good? No? Okay. Well, it's gonna keep you warm, so that's what's important. As I walked down the steps of the platform, a nervous anticipation started to set in. Entering 36-degree Fahrenheit water isn't something I tend to do every day. I mean, this water is only 4 degrees above freezing. Safe to say, it doesn't get much colder than this. So guys, my sister's helping us out today. Say hi to everybody, Vic. She came to Iceland with me, so she's the cameraman today. But here we go. We're gonna go snorkeling in the Silfra Fissure. Time to get in.
As I plunged into the water, my face was instantly met with a stinging sensation. The shock distracted me, but then suddenly, an explosion of color. This landscape was absolutely surreal, something straight out of the pages of a science fiction novel. And to top it all off, the water was 100% crystal clear. It was nearly unbelievable. The visibility in the fissure on a good day is said to extend well beyond 300 feet, and I think we can all look at this footage and confirm that that is definitely true. I can see now why so many people with the fear of heights have issues with this experience. It literally felt as if nothing was between me and the bottom of the fissure. In fact, the sensation was actually closer to that of flying than it was to swimming. That is, until I tried to actually kick with my fins. The dry suit, while providing life-saving warmth and insulation, made it nearly impossible to move. The buoyancy it created restricted my movement so much that to a large degree, I was only able to move forward by the assistance of the current. However, I will say this lack of mobility actually allowed me to relax and enjoy the experience as a whole and really take in all the color and spectacular scenery. Sometimes, it's nice to just be along for the ride. So how does a place like the Silfra Fissure come to exist? Well, as it turns out, Iceland sits smack dab on the mid-Atlantic ridge, which is formed by the separation of the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. In Thingvellir National Park, the separation of these plates expands nearly 1 inch every year. But over the course of millions of years, it has created fissures, which are filled by a natural aquifer and glacial meltwater from the surrounding peaks. This water moves slowly, very slowly. In fact, it can take up to nearly 100 years to travel and filter itself through the porous volcanic soil, making it some of the purest H2O on the planet. It is so pure, you can literally drink the water around you as you swim through the fissure. And yes, I definitely tried it out.
Well, the water is cold, but I can tell you guys, this is by far the clearest visibility I've ever encountered. And oh, by the way, the water is delicious. It is about the purest water that you could ever drink. So it is one of those scenarios where you can't drink the water. It's pretty awesome. Iceland.
While it is delicious, it is actually the purity and frigid temperature of the water that helps to create the vivid colors in the landscape of this environment. As I continued to drift along, I couldn't help but dream of coming back to dive this location with the team. My imagination was literally running wild, trying to picture what the scene must be like from the bottom of the fissure. And I was also beginning to wonder, what else might live down there? Is there something down there besides algae and troll grass? But just as I started to consider the idea of taking a free dive to find out, I noticed the battery on my GoPro, which was full 20 minutes prior, was now at only 1%.
Woo! Wow, guys, the water is so cold that it's literally draining the life out of this GoPro. But before it dies, I just want to say that getting to snorkel the Silfra Fissure here in Iceland has to be one of the coolest experiences I've ever done. I'm Mark Vince. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next location. Whew, this water's cold.
Just seeing that footage makes me want to go grab my dive gear, jump on an airplane, head back to Iceland, and get down there to explore the depths of those fissures. I can only imagine how cool it looks from the bottom. Unfortunately, we are going to have to wait a little bit longer for that adventure, guys. That was just a scouting mission, but I can 100% guarantee you that Coyote, Mario, and myself will be heading back to Iceland on an epic adventure very soon. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this behind-the-scenes peek of the Silfra Fissure and just what it takes to location scout productions for Brave Wilderness. Did you guys like this video? Do you want to see more of these? Tell me about it in the comments section below, and don't forget, please ask me questions, guys. Who knows? Maybe I'll pick yours to answer on the next On Location.
If you love animals, make sure to search for the Brave Wilderness channel on YouTube so you can join me and the crew on our next big adventure.